Hello everyone, welcome back to IGCSE Made Easy. So today we are going to start with paper code 0580/23 May June 2022 paper 2 extended. So let's start. Question number 1. The probability of picking a red sweet from a bag is 0.05. Find the probability of not picking a red sweet. You know that the total probability will always be 1. So if I subtract 1 with 0.05, that is probability of picking a red sweet, then I'll get probability of not picking a red sweet. So let us use our calculator to calculate this question. So we'll have 1 minus of 0.05, that gives you 0.95, and 0.95 is the probability of not picking a red sweet. Question number 2. Work out the value of mk cube divided by root 3 when m is 4 and k is equals to 7. We just have to put the value of m as 4 and k is equals to 7 cubit and under root of 3. So let's use our calculator again to solve this. So we can do like this: 4 times, I can write 7, and over there I can write 3, 7 cube divided by root 3, and the answer is 792.12. So 792 even I can write, or 792.1 also I can write. 792.1, I'll take on this answer, 792.1, or even you can write 792, 3 significant figure. Okay. Question number 3. This question says PQRS is a quadrilateral and RST is a straight line. Okay, so lock this one. Okay, so this is quadrilateral, so you should know that in a quadrilateral the angle sum is 360 degree. Okay, so 73 plus 129 plus 75 plus one of the angle, this one, should give you 360. So to find out that, we will subtract 360 with all the three angles, so that we'll get this angle, that is RSP. So you can use a calculator, we can use a calculator to find that. Okay, so we have to subtract 360 with 73 plus 129 plus 75, and that gives you 83. So angle RSP is 83. So let us write that 83 is RSP, but we need to find PST, right? PST is this one, this angle. We need to find out this angle. Okay, so PST will be 180 minus angle PST will be equals to 180 minus of 83. So let us again use our calculator. So I'll write 180 minus of the answer that I got. So that gives me 97. So 97 is my final answer. 97 degree is PST. So let's move on. Question number 4. These are the masses in kg of 12 parcel. The total number of parcel is 12, and we have to complete the stem and leaf diagram for these 12 parcels. So you have to first check for the key. Key is given at the bottom. First check for that. 0/3 represents 0.3, right? 0.3. So 0/3 is here. It means that 0.3. One of the values already given, and 0/4. It means that 0.4 other value is already given. So rest of the value we have to find. Two of the values given, I just cancel that. After that, we are just trying to align it properly. Okay, sequence, increasing order, we will be aligning it. So 0.3 and 4 goes out. After that, it comes out to be 0.7 over here. So we will be writing 0.7. Then after that comes 0.8. I'm trying to write it in a sequence, right? Increasing order. Then comes 0.8, 0.9 does not seems like here. Then we have 1.1 over here, and again 1.1, and then we have 1.2, then we have 1.2 again, then we have 1.7, then we have 1.8, then comes 2, 2.1, then 2.3. If you cut it like that, it will be like easy for you to, you will not miss any of the number. That's why it will be easy for you to understand also. Okay, once you have done this, now they will ask you questions according to that. Find the median. So median is the mid value, right? So how many are the total parcel? There are total 12 parcels. So mid value will be what? Half of that will be 6. Sixth value and the seventh value will give us the median. Sixth and the seventh value and divided by 2 will give us the median. What is the sixth value now? This is first value, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So this is sixth and this is seventh value. Okay. So sixth and the seventh value is what? Not 1 and 2. Sixth and seventh value is 1.1 and 1.2. So sixth value is 1.1 and the seventh value is 1.2, and if I divide it with 2, sixth and seventh value divided by 2 gives you the median, right? So sixth value is 1.1 and seventh value is 1.2, and if I divide it with 2, I'll get the answer. So let us use our calculator now. So sixth value is 1.1 and the seventh value is 1.2, and if I divide this with 2, I should get my answer, that is 1.15. So 1.15 is the median. You might get into the confusion that, sir, why we have like uh, why we have to take sixth and the seventh term? Why don't we take only the sixth term? Just keep it in mind, like you should know this. If we have an even number like this, 12 is an even number, let's say 4 is also an even. I'll give you an example of that. Let's say we have 1 2 3 and 4 numbers are there, right? For if an even number is there, then definitely we'll have two mid value. There will be no one mid value. See, this is the first value, this is second value, third and fourth. So this 2 will be taken as a mid value, right? 2 and 3. This out, this one from the left hand side, one from the right hand side, two mid values will be there. But in case of odd number 1 2 3 4 5, two from the right and two from the left side, it's taken one mid value is there, right? So there will be two midpoint in case of an even number. That's why this is an even number 12. So we got two midpoint, that is sixth term and the seventh term. I hope you understand this. Let's move on. Question number 5. The nth term of the sequence is n square minus 1. Find the first three term of this sequence. So putting the value of n as 1 should give you the first term. Putting the value of n as 2 will give you the second term. If I put the value of n as 1, so the sequence is actually the nth term is n square minus 1. So if I put the value of n as 1, so it becomes 1 square minus 1. So 1 square is 1 itself and 1 minus of 1 is 0, right? The first term will be 0. And if I put n as 2, it should give me the second term, right? So 2, I'm just putting n as 2 here. So 2 square minus of 1, 2 square is 4, 4 minus of 1 is 3. So the second term is 3. And if I put n as 3, so here in this place of n I'm putting 3. So 3 square minus of 1, 3 square is 9 and 9 minus of 1 equals to 8. So this is the nth term, sequence 1 2 3. So let's move on to question number 6. Simplify part A. Y cube divided by y5. When there is a division sign, it means that we have to subtract the powers. When the bases are same and division sign is there, we have to subtract the powers. So power is 3 minus of the other power is 5. So if I subtract 3 minus of 5, I should get minus of 2 in your calculator. So it will be y raised to power minus 2. Or you can even write, when there is a power, a negative power, you can even write in the reciprocal form, 1 by y raised to power 2. Okay, so both are correct. So for part B, you know that anything raised to power 0 is 1. So x raised to power 0 will be 1. So 7 times 1 will be 7 itself, right? Any value, a raised to power 0 is 1, x raised to power 0 is 1, so that's why 1. So 7 times 1 is 7. So answer is 7 itself. Question number 7. The scatter diagram shows the number of visitors and the total amount spent in thousands of dollars at a zoo on each of 8 days. So the plot shows the total amount spent and the number of visitors in the zoo. So the first part, A part, is asking, on one of the 8 days there are 410 visitors. Find the total amount spent by the visitors. Okay, 410 will be, this is 400, then this will be equals to 410 because each box represents 10 unit. So let us first draw that. So 410 will be somewhere here. We have to draw till that point. Then let's see how much amount they spent. So over the left side y-axis, each box represents 1 unit, so this is 26 and this should be equals to 27, and 27, actually the amount spent is calculated in thousands of dollars, so 27 represent $27,000. Okay, so part B says information for the ninth day is shown in the table. Number of visitors is 175. Total amount spent is this. Plot this information on the scatter. We have to plot this information. 175 is the total visitors and 9 is the total, that is 9,000. Means 9 we have to plot it, that itself means 9,000. Okay, so let's find out where is 175. So this is 150, 160, 70, each box represents 10. So 70, 60, 70, 75. So 75 will be half of this one. So let us draw. And what is that? 9, right? The total amount spent is 9. So 9 will be 6, 7, 8, 9. So this will be 9. So if I draw it like this till here, and I have to, in between it will come, right? So I have to go a little bit further. The angle is 0, I think, right? Yeah. So this one and this one. So we have to plot that one. We have to place a point, or we can make a cross on it. Let's place a cross. Okay. So this is the point, and the coordinate is 175, comma 7. Oh, sorry, 9. Look, 75, comma 9. Okay, so this is the plot. So the next part says draw a line of best fit on the scatter diagram. So the line of best fit should be like, make sure that all the points are equally divided between the lines, and make sure that points are nearby the lines even. So let it be like, you can draw, this point is going a little bit further, but if I draw it like this, it is like almost every point matches together. So we can draw it here also. It can vary, your answer may vary because line of best fit changes, and I am just drawing with another color pen. So this is the line of best fit. For me it may change, for you also. I'm just trying to make distributed the points distributed equally. Okay, then the next part says, and yeah, of course, don't make the line of best fit outside of this graph. It's not correct. Okay, anyway, on the 10th day, the total amount spent is 22,000. Estimate the number of visitors on this day. 22,000 is how much here? We use this blue pen. 22, 21, 22,000 is here. So using the best fit line, we have to estimate the number of visitors. Okay, so if I draw it and connect it till the line of best fit and turn it back to the number of visitors, for me I'm getting the answer around 320. Okay, so the answer will be in the range So you may get 330 also. Answer may be will be in the range. Okay, I am getting 320. They will give you the answers in between some answers, so it will be in the range. So don't worry about that. So let's move on to the next part. Question number 8. Work out using without using calculator. Work out 2 by 9 divided by 5 by 6. So you don't have to use the calculator for this case. So 2 by 9, and the division sign I'm changing into multiply, and the number get reversed. 6 goes up and 5 comes down. If I does not change the division sign, it should be remain same, but I change the division sign to multiply, so the number reversed. Now what we can do, we can cancel it. If I cancel it, this 6 and this 9 both comes in 3 tables. So 3 times 2 is 6 and 3 times 3 is 9. So if we see further, it is not possible. So 2 times 2 is 4 and 5 times 3 is 15. So we'll take this as a final answer, 4 by 15. Question number 9. Change 300 meter per minute to kilometer per hour. Okay, so you know that 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter, and 1 hour having 60 minutes. That's what we have to convert. Here it is given 300 meter, right? So 1 kilometer is 1000 meters. So 300 meter is how 300 meter will be how many kilometers, because we have to convert it to kilometers, right? So what we have to do, we have to divide it. We divide 300 with 1000. The reason of that is because I want to convert meter to kilometer. Just keep it in mind that if I go from the smaller unit to the bigger unit, the smaller unit is meter and the bigger unit is kilometer. If I want to move from, it is applicable for any of the unit, right? Smaller unit like uh, gram and kilogram, right? Gram will come down and kilogram will go up. Universally, it's like the unit that is bigger, it will go up. So if I want to convert the smaller unit to bigger unit, what I have to do, I have to divide it. The reason is, see, this is a stair method. Actually, we used to call it a stair method. When we climb up, when we go up, that is what meter to kilometer that we are doing. When we climb up, we tends to get tired, right? So if we get tired, our energy get divided. This is one of the way to remember. Okay, in the other way, we can call it as, if I want to convert kilometer to meter, from top to bottom I'm moving, right? So the bigger unit to the smaller unit, if I'm going, I have to multiply the things. The reason of multiplying is from just the stair reason is, if I come from top to bottom, my speed will be increased, right? So I have to multiply the things. So this is one of the basic thing that if you remember, it will be good for you. So if I want to convert meter to kilometer, right? Meter is a smaller unit and the kilometer is the bigger unit. If I want to convert meter to the bigger unit, kilometer that is, so you have to divide the things. Divide it what? Actually 1 kilometer has 1000 meters. So we have to divide that with 1000. I hope you understand why we have to divide it. The same case applicable with any of the unit, right? Minute to hour. See, minute will come down and hour will go up. See, what I have to do, I have to divide the things, and divide it with what? Because 1 hour has 60 minutes, so I have to divide it with 60. I hope you understand. Now let's solve the question. Okay, the concept is clear. Let's solve the question. We have 300 meter and per minute is given, and we have to convert into kilometer per hour. So what I have to do, for converting the meter to kilometer, I have to divide it with 1000, as I told you, right? 300 with 1000. If I divide 300 with 1000, this meter becomes kilometer, right? Can I write it like that? Okay. Same way, if I want to convert the minute to this minute to hour, I have to divide it with what? 60. So what I'll do, I will be, see, division for minute is will come over the top, right? Try to understand. Division for minute will come over the top. So if I am dividing the 1 minute to 60, so that's why it is coming over the top. Okay, so I'm dividing it, so we multiplied with 60 over the top. Now the minute changes to what? Hour. Can I write over the hour? Okay, now the things are just need to be calculated using calculator. So let's use calculator. So we have 300 that need to be multiplied with 60. and divided with 1000. So I'm getting 18. So what is our final answer? 18 kilometer per hour. We just converted into 18 kilometer per hour. I'm writing the answer over here, 18 kilometer per hour. That's already given. Yeah, 18. 18 will be a final answer. Let's move. Question number 10. So this is we have to find out the sets. Actually, it's given that find number of element in A intersection B dash. Okay, how many elements are actually in A intersection B? 33 elements are there, right? 33. But we are asked that not in that. A intersection B, not. Not means not in A intersection B. We have to find out. So things that are in A intersection B is 33. I just shaded it. The things that are not in A intersection B is 25, 12 and 3 that are not in A intersection B, that we have to add it using a calculator. So let's add 25 plus 12 plus 3 and that gives me 40. So number of element in A intersection B not is 40. How it comes? 25 plus 12 plus 3. Let's move on. Question number 11. A, B, C, D, E, F and G, H, K are triangles with all vertices on the circumference of circle. Okay, so what we have to find from the list, draw a ring around the line that is diameter of the circle. Okay, we have to find out which among these are the diameter of the circle. Any one should be there. One more question, yeah. So which among these are the diameter of circle? Actually, you should know one rule that if this is a diameter that passes through the center, if any angle drawn on this one, right? Angle drawn in a diameter will always be equals to 90 degree, or we also call this as angle made in a semicircle, right? Semicircle is also a diameter line, right? This is a semicircle and this is a diameter line, correct? So angle made in a diameter will always be 90. So let's find out which angle is 90. Then easily we can find out the diameter of that. Okay, can you see the triangle, this DF and E? In this triangle, you can easily find out 82 plus 8 gives you 90, right? 82 plus 8 gives you 90. And the other angle should definitely be equals to 90 degree, because the sum of the angle should always be equals to 180. So 82 and 8 gives you 90. So the other angle is 90 because 90 plus 90 is 180. So definitely this is a 90 degree. So what is diameter now? The diameter is this one. This one is a diameter. This line I am not able to draw this properly, but this is a diameter line. Then only the angle made in a diameter is 90. So the diameter is what? DE. That line is actually, the red line is DE. So we have to ring that one. So let's do the next question. Question number 12. F is a common factor of 14 and 28. M is a common multiple of 10 and 25. P is a prime number. Work out the largest possible value of F upon MP. Okay, just try to understand that if my numerator is greater, because we need the largest possible value of this one, right? So if my numerator is greater and denominator is smaller, then only I'll get the largest possible value. Understand this. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's say I have a 12 and if I divide it with the number 2, so I'm getting the answer 6 times 2. The answer is 6. Try to understand this. If I divide the same number 12 with 3, I'm getting 3 times 4. If I increase the denominator, my numerator value or the total value gets decreased. One more example with 12 itself, same numerator 12, and if I divide it with 6, if I increase the denominator value, then the numerator value decreases. If I decrease the denominator value, numerator value increase. So what might be the largest possible value of this one? When I keep the denominator as small as possible. I hope you understand. Then only I'll get the largest possible value of f upon mp. So it means that I have to keep the smallest value of m and the smallest value of P and the greatest value of F. So then only I'll get the largest possible value of combined of these two, correct? So F is actually what the common factor of 14 and 28. So what we will find? We will find out the HCF, highest common factor of, because F comes out of the numerator. So we'll be finding the highest common factor of 14 and 28. And M comes over the bottom, right here. In the denominator it comes. So M is a common multiple of 10 and 25. So we'll find the lowest common multiple of this, so that we get the lowest value, right? And P is a prime number, and P is also in the denominator, so we have to find out the least prime number. The lowest prime number is 2. The smallest prime number is 2, or the least prime number is 2. That is the only smallest value I can take in the prime number, that is 2. Okay, now let's find out first what can be the value of F, the highest common factor, by finding the highest common factor. So HCF of 14 and 28, how do we find out the HCF? HCF we can individually do it. There are many ways, but I do in this way. You can also do it any way. Like HCF, finding HCF, we just individually divide it. So 7 times 2 is 14 and 7 times 1 is 7, and for 28 we'll have 14 times 2 and 2 times 7. Okay, so HCF of 14 and 28 is, we have the common factor is 2, and we have here also 7 comes 7. So HCF is equals to 2 times 7, 14, right? Highest common factor is 14. It means that the highest possible value of 14 and 28 will be 14, right? And the lowest common multiple of 10 and 25, if I find out, I have to keep together. For LCM, we will be keeping it together. So 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times, oh sorry, 2 we can't do it now because 25 is there. Okay, 5, let's do with 5. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 5 times 5 is 25. So 2 times 1 is 2, and 5 is remains the same, and 5 times 1 is 5. So HCF is multiple of all, LCM is multiple of this. So LCM equals to 5 times 2 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10, 10 times 5 is 50. So the lowest common multiple of this is 50, and the prime number that we took it as that one. So let's use these values, right? So we have F over MP, and the highest possible value of F can be equals to 14. We have calculated here, and the lowest possible value of M is 50, correct? And the lowest possible value of P, that is prime number, that is equals to 2. So if we solve this one, so 14 by 15, 50 times 2 is 100. So 14 divided by 100 is equals to 0 0.14. I'll show you in calculator itself. 14 divided by 100 is equals to 0 0.14. So that will be the maximum possible, the largest possible value of F upon MP, 0 0.14. This is your final answer. So let's move on to question number 13. Okay, so factorize completely 18px minus 27p. So what we have to do, we have to factorize by taking out common. So the maximum common that can come out is 9, and p is also common out. Then we have 9 times 2 is 18, and x will be inside, and 9 times 3 is 27, and this will be the maximum possible common, 9p, and this is the factor of this one. 9p 2x 9p 2x minus 3 will be a final answer. So for the second part, mt minus of n minus of, because mt and m has a common value, and n and this nt has some common value. Let's combine it together, right? Let's pair it nicely. Mt minus of m, and over this side if I write it nt minus of n, I am having now common from this 2, and I am having common from this 2, that is m from this side, and if I take out common n, m, then I'll be getting t minus of 1, and over this side if I take out n as common, then I'll get t minus of 1. Okay, the final answer will be like m plus n and t minus of 1, bracket and the outside bracket, m plus n, and the other one is t minus of 1. So let's move on. Question number 14. Find the nth term of the sequence. So sequence is given. So we have to subtract the second term with the first term. This is the second term, okay? Keep it in mind. You have to subtract the second term with the first term to find out the difference. So let us use the calculator and do this. So we have the second term is 17 minus of 8, that gives you 9. And next term is 32 minus of 17, that gives you 15. And then 53 minus of 32, that gives you 21. And 80 minus of 53, that gives you 27. Okay, we come to know that the common difference in the first time we are not getting any proper common difference, right? So we have to check for the next common difference, that is 15 minus of 9. 15 minus of 9, that gives me 6 over here. And 21 minus of 15, 21 minus of 15 again gives me 6. And 27 minus of 21 is 6 itself. So we know that in the first time we are not getting the common difference, right? But in the second time only we are getting the common difference. So it means that this type of sequence is called as quadratic sequence. Okay, so for solving the quadratic sequence, the formula that we'll be using to solve this is an square plus bn plus c. Okay, this is the quadratic nth term that we will be using to solve this. So to find out a, b and c from this equation, from this nth term, we have to use one method. Remember this. For the last this one 6 we got it, that's the second common difference, that we will put it equals to 2a. And the first common difference that we got is that was 9. First time that we got it was 9, and we have to put that equals to 3a plus b. And the first term that is given, we will be putting it equals to a plus b plus c. So you have to remember this formula, 2a, 3a plus b, a plus b plus c, to solve this type of questions. So first we will be solving, equating 2a equals to 6. So if I put 2a equals to 6, I will get the value of a. A will be 6 by 2 and a is equals to 3, correct? Once I get the value of a, I'll shift to 3a plus b equals to 9. I have to equate that. 3a plus b will be equals to 9. Putting the value of a as 3 there. So a as 3. We can easily find out the value of b. So 3 times 3 is 9. Plus b equals to 9. And this b equals to 9 minus of 9. 9 shifts over that side, and 9 minus of 9 is 0. So b will be equals to 0 and a equals to 3. And finally we will be putting a plus b plus c equals to 8. So if I put a plus b plus c equals to 8, wait, is that calculator? Yeah, I have to take it. Okay, so if a plus b plus c is equals to 8, then we already got the value of a as 3 and b as 0. So we can easily find the value of c. So c will be equals to 3 goes there, 8 minus of 3, and c will be equals to 5. Okay, we got the value of a, b and c. Using these three values, we will put it in this quadratic equation, that is an square, where the value of a is, I'm going to put it in these things. So value of a is 3 and 3n square, plus value of b is 0 and 0 into n, and plus value of c is 5. So because 0 into any number will be 0, so we will not calculate this one. So we are just left with 3n square plus of 5. And this is how we will be finding nth term of this quadratic sequence. So let's move on. Question number 15. Solve 12x minus of 3x is greater than 4x plus of 13. So let's pair the values of x together. 4x and this 4x, 12x minus of 4x comes over the left side with negative sign, and this greater than equals to sign is there, and 13 is already there, and I just shifted this 3 over this side with the positive side, positive sign plus 3. So we get 12x minus of 4x is 8x greater than equals to 16. Keep it in mind, this greater than equals to sign will be only changing when there is a negative number in division. uh, yeah, if the negative number is being divided, then the sign will be changed to the opposite one. Okay, so that is not the question right now, so but keep it in mind like that. So here, division or multiplication. So here it is very simple. So the value of x will be equals to what? X is greater than 16 by 8. There is no negative number divided. If this is negative number, let's say this is negative of 8, then negative of 8 if comes down, then this will be changed like that. Yeah, but it's not a scenario like that. So x will be directly equals to x is greater than equals to 2. That's sort of a final answer. Let's move on. Question number 16. Abdul draws the speed time graph for a journey. The graph has 4 sessions A, B, C, D. Complete the statement about the speed time graph. Okay. Session dash cannot be correct. Actually, if you look on this graph very carefully, A is accelerating and B is constant and C is deaccelerating, coming down, right? Deaccelerating, and D is wrong because you can see that time can never go back, right? See, this was 100 second at this time, and at D point it should be more than 100, right? Anyway, if it is going back, time can not, it is not possible. So the section D is wrong because you should know that time in any of the factor will not stop. Anything can stop, speed, anything can stop. Okay, but a person stops for a long also, but time will go on, right? He is not moving, but time will go on. Speed of a vehicle may even comes to zero, but time goes on. If a vehicle is stopping, anything is going on, but time will go on. So if time is coming back, it means that it is wrong. So which session, session dash cannot be correct? Actually cannot be correct is session D, right? This cannot be correct because time cannot go back. Okay, session dash shows constant speed. So constant means something, the value is being constant or does not move. Can you see that this is constant speed with a constant speed means does not change, right? Does not vary. Now the speed was 10 here and it is continuing, the vehicle is continuing. Yeah, the something is continuing, any vehicle or something is continuing its speed for from here to here 10 meter per second speed, right? It's not increasing, not decreasing, so it is a constant speed that we can call it as. So session B shows constant speed and session dash shows deceleration. So this is called as accelerating, right? And coming down is deceleration. Session C shows deceleration. Okay, session A shows acceleration of dash meter per second. Okay, acceleration formula is yeah, acceleration formula is change in velocity, or we can call it here as speed, change in speed upon change in time. Okay, change in speed, what is the change in the speed? Before the speed was 0 and now the speed is 10, right? So change in speed is what? 10. Now the speed is 10 and before it was 0, right? We are talking about session A only. Okay, keep it in mind, we are just talking about session A. So session A is from here to here, the blue line that I have drawn, or let me draw it again, from here to here, right? So acceleration is change in speed upon change in time. So change in speed is 10 minus of 0 because it reaches till 10, and change in time, so change in time is, this is the time that it takes, right? So 30 minus of, it starts from 0, so 30 minus of 0, so we have 10 divided by 30, 0 0 cancelled out, so we have 1 by 3 meter per second, or we can write 0.333 using a calculator. Okay, the distance traveled in first 30 seconds of the journey is how much? So you should know that To calculate the distance, this is what the first 30 second is, this much. This is the first 30 second. To calculate the distance, we have to find out the area under the graph. So area under the graph is clearly a triangle, and to find out this is a right angle triangle, so area of the under the graph we can easily find out using the formula half into base. Base is how much? This is the base, that is 30, into height is how much? Height is 10. This is 10, right? So height is 10. So if I do that, so 5 times 3 is 15, 150 meter. So the distance traveled in 30 seconds for this journey is 150 meter. So let's move. Question number 17. In triangle ABC, AC equals to AB and D is the midpoint of BC such that AD is perpendicular to BC. Complete the following statement to show that a triangle ACD and triangle ABD are congruent. So we have to prove that, actually it is given, some of the statement is already given. We have to say that this triangle is being congruent to let me take it as well, this triangle. We have to just make sure that I'm not able to shade it properly, triangle, but this two triangle as we are comparing it right now, so ABD and ADC, yeah, ACD and ABD. So they have given some statement, let's understand it. AD is, they have given AD is perpendicular to BC, so that angle, why it is perpendicular, actually this is 90, it's given, right? One of the, I'll just erase all of these things just to make it much more clear. Yeah, so this angle is already given 90, so definitely this will also be equals to 90, correct? So AD is perpendicular to BC, so that angle ADC, that is this angle, we are talking about, that is angle ADC is equals to angle this ADB. They both are equal because they both are 90 degree, correct? AC equals to AB, it is a given information. Side dash is common to both the triangle. Okay, which side is common to both the triangle? Try to understand. This side in between will be common to both the triangle. See, if this is one of the triangle, this is another triangle. So this side is being common to both the triangle. So which side is common? AD. So we will be writing, where is this? We'll be writing this side, that is AD. You can see AD is common in both the triangles. Okay, triangle ACD is congruent to triangle ABD because the congruency condition. Which congruency conditions prove that this is congruent? Which congruency condition? See, we have certain congruency conditions like SSS, RHS. So which congruency conditions here? So just I want to tell you that this is RHS because one of the side is hypotenuse, right? RHS. So R means right angle, right? R means right angle. This is right angle. One is 90 degree, right? Right angle. And H means hypotenuse. One of the side is hypotenuse, as I told you. In this right angle triangle, one side will be hypotenuse. This is H. And one of the side, that is common side, is included. That's why the property is RHS, in which 90 degree, that is right angle, and other is hypotenuse is included, and other is side is included. So property congruency criteria is RHS. Let's move. Question number 18. The bearing of B from A is X and the bearing of A from B is Y. X ratio Y is 2 ratio 7. Calculate the value of Y. Okay, it's given the B and X and Y is given in the diagram itself. That is, the ratio is also given 2 ratio 7. But actually don't get confused with just a ratio actually. Okay, because let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say there is two person, Mohan and Rohan. Okay, and Mohan buys 5 chocolates and Rohan buys 10 chocolates. So Mohan buys 5 chocolate and Rohan buys 10 chocolate. What is the ratio actually? If we will find out the ratio of that, this is 1 by 2, right? The ratio is 1 by 2 because 5 by 10 is equals to 1 by 2. So ratio is 1 by 2. That's what we can call it as 1 by 2 ratio. So it's the least ratio that we can term it, the simple ratio, right? 1 by 2. But there is some common multiple that exists between two. What is that common multiple? If I multiply this with 5, I get, if I multiply the ratio with 5, I get 5. the same ratio I have to, the same multiples, the common multiple I have to do it. Again, I have to multiply this 2 with 5. Can you see that this is a common multiple between this two ratio? So same way, let's come back to the question and understand this with this example. So the ratio is 2:7. It does not mean that it is the actual value. Some common multiple is also there in between. So the value of x is 2 and the value of y is 7. It is not the actual value. There is some common multiple also. So that common multiple, as here in the example, I took the common multiple as 5 from both the case. So I have to take something as a common multiple here. So let's say a. I'm multiplying something with a, but it is common for both the ratios. Okay, it will be common for both the ratios because we are comparing it. So I took 2a and 7a. So if this is 2a and this is 7a, what will be the angle here? Because the whole angle is 360, right? So this will be 360 minus of 7a, correct? And we can compare this 2a and 360 minus of 7a because they both are north, they both are in north, so they both are parallel to each other. If they are both are parallel, so we can say that 2a plus 360 minus of 7a will be equals to 180, because when two things are parallel, so this angle and this angle sum will be equals to 180, right? So angles on the same side of a parallel line. So 2a plus 2a minus of 7a will be giving me minus of 5a equals to 180. Okay, so let's take this 5a over that side. So it will be like 360 and 180 comes this side. 180 equals to 5a. So we have 180, 360 minus 180 is 180. I'm just solving this one. So is equals to 5a, and a will be equals to 180 divided by 5. So if I use my calculator to divide 180 by 5, 180 divided by 5, that gives me 36. So angle A will be equals to 36 degree. So what we have to find the value of y, right? So y will be equals to what? 36 times 7. 36 times 7, because that's what the angle y is, right? Angle y is 7 times a. So a is 36. So 7 times 36 equals to 252. That's our final answer. 252. I hope we understand this question. It's more. 252. Sorry, 252. Okay, let's move. Question number 19. F of x is kx square and g of x and h of x is given. Find part A. F of minus 5k equals to 675. We have to find the value of k over here. Okay, so you know that if I put f of minus 5k over here, then it should give me 675, right? So if I put over here f of minus 5, f of, that's what actually, if I put f of minus 5, it gives me 675. So we can write it as like kx square, where x is minus of 5k, and I just put the value of x as minus of 5k, and we have to put that as square, and that will be equals to 675, right? Because this is also equals to this one, because but the only case is we have to put x as minus of 5k. Okay, then let's find out the value of k square there here. So this is actually equals to k into 25. 5 times 5 is 25, because minus sign will go out because of square, and k square equals to 675. So k into k square into k is k cube, so 25 k cube is equals to 675. K square into k is k cube, so we have 25 that will be divided. So k cube will be equals to 675 divided by 25, and k cube will be equals to, if I divide 675 by 25, it's divided 675 divided by 25, I'm getting the answer as 27. Then k will be equals to under root of 27, and root 27 is 3, right? You all know that. So let's move on to part B. Part B, g of h of x we have to find out. So here, see, h of x is equals to this value, right? So that is equals to 7x minus 2 by 5. So if I put because the h of x value is 7x minus 2 by 5 and g of x, the total g of x is 1 by x. So here in place of x I have to put the value of what? I have to put the value of 7x minus of 2 in place of x, right? So let's put that. So if I put instead of x, I have to put 7x minus of 2 divided by 5. Then this 5 goes up and 7x minus 2 remains down. So this is our final answer, 5 by 7x minus of 2. So let's do part C. Part C, h inverse of x plus j of x give you an answer in its simplest form. So what is h of x? Let's write that. H of x is equals to this one, right? So 7x minus of 2 by 5. So h of x equals to 7x minus 2 by 5, right? So what is h inverse? There are few steps that you have to remember. The first step is you have to write in place of h of x, you have to write y. So y will be equals to 7x minus 2 by 5. First step is just you have to write in place of h of x, you have to write y. Second step is wherever you see x, you will change it to y. Wherever you see y, you will change it to x. So I can see here y, so I'll change it as x. And 7x is there, I'll change it to y. This is the second step. And the third step is you have to solve for y. Okay, we have to find the value of y. So y is over here. So we have to find the value of y. So first let's cross multiply this one. This becomes 5x equals to 7y minus of 2. So this 2 goes over the left side because I just want the value of y. So 5x plus of 2 equals to 7y. So just we have to keep the value of y. So 5x plus of 2 divided by 7 is equals to value of y, and this is also equals to this one, h inverse of x. Got it? So these are the few steps that you have to remember. Then j of x is what? See, now we got h of x. So h inverse of x, that is 5x plus of 2 divided by 7. And if we add this with j of x, that is equals to, from the question we have to take it, j of x is 3 minus of 10x by 14. 3 minus of 10x by 14. Okay, so now what we have to do, this we have to add it, h inverse of x and j of x, we have to add it to solve it or simplify the thing. So what we can do is either by using cross multiply or LCM method, both will work. Okay, let's cross multiply, that's the simplest way. First you have to multiply this two number and write over the bottom. So what is 14 times 7? Let's take out a calculator. So what is 14 times 7? I'll put it over here. So 14 times 7 is equals to 98. So I'll write it here at the bottom. And then the second is 14 times this value, right? Right over here, 14 times 5x plus of 2 plus, and the other step is, third step is 7 multiplied by this, cross multiply, crossly we are multiplying. So we get 7 multiplied by 3 minus of 10x. Okay, so let's simplify a little bit more. If I multiply like this is expanding the bracket, 14 times 5 is 70. So 70x plus 14 times 2 is 28. You can use a calculator. Plus 7 times 3 is 21. I'm multiplying this and I'm multiplying this one. 7 times 3 is 21 minus of 7 times 10 is 70. X divided by 98. Can you see that plus 70x and minus 70x that we can cancel it easily. So 28 plus 21, we have to add it. So 28 plus 21, that gives you 49, and 49 by 90 should be the answer, but we are asked to find out the simplest form, the least form. So what we can do is, using a calculator itself we can do it. So 49 divided by 90 is the answer. So what we can do, 49 divided by 90, we will write it and press equals to, and it will automatically give us yeah, sorry, that was 98. Instead of 90 I should have written 98, and here also 98. So that was my mistake. I'm really sorry. So what we have to do is 49 divided by 98 instead of 90. Then it will give us the lowest form. It will automatically give us the lowest form 1 by 2. So that will be a final answer. So correct it. There was a small mistake. Okay, let's move on. Question number 20. The diagram shows a square ABCD with side length k centimeter. MD is the sector uh, of a circle. Center is D. Okay, then E lies on the diagonal BD of the square. M is the midpoint of AD. Okay, if M is the midpoint of AD, then this should be, if this is a midpoint, then the whole length is K. This whole length is K. Then MD should be equals to K by 2 or half of K, right? K by 2 we can write. Okay, then this is sector. Okay, this is sector. Now we have to find out the percentage of the square that is shaded. Okay, the shaded you can see, but we have to find out the percentage of the shaded part. So what we can do is percentage, how to find out the percentage? We have to find out the area of the shaded divided with the total area and times of 100 will give you the percentage, right? That's what our focus is. So let's find out, to find out the shaded region. So how to find out the shaded region? To find out the shaded region, so this whole is a square and this is like that and this is a sector given, right? If I want to find out the area of the shaded region, this whole is shaded, right? So what I have to do, I have to find out the area of the whole square and I have to take this part out. Then only take the sector part out. Then only I can able to find out the area of the shaded region. So let's first find out the area of, let us first find out the area of square. What is the area of square? Area of square is k square because k is the one of the side given and the k square will be the area of the square. Okay, perfect. Then let's move on to finding the area of sector. Area of sector is this part. Okay, I'll shade this one. This is area of sector, and to find out the area of sector we have a formula and the formula says theta by 360 times pi r square. Sorry, theta by 360 times pi r square. This is the formula that we will be using to find out. And this is theta, right? So as you know that in a square, if the diagonal is there, it means that it is bisecting the whole angle. This whole angle of a square will be 90 degree. A square, all the angle is 90, right? If the diagonal bisects 90 degree, then this angle will be divided into 45 and this angle is also 45. So theta is what? 45 degree, because this will be 45 and that will be 45. So theta we have to focus, right? So theta is 45 and 45 divided by 360 times pi r square is the area of the sector, correct? Now if I subtract the area of a square, the whole area of the square with the area of the sector, I'll get the area of the shaded region, right? So what I'm going to do, area of shaded region now is equals to area of square minus of area of sector. So area of square is what? K square minus area of sector is what? Area of sector is 45 by 360 times pi r square, where the r is equals to what? Now come to this point where r is equals to what? K by 2, because this is a sector, right? This is a sector, this is a part of sector, this is a kind of sector where this is radius, right? Radius of this one, right? You can see that if it is a circle, this is a part of sector, part of circle, then this is K by 2, then this becomes a radius, right? So r is what for sector? That is k by 2, right? So let's replace the value of r as k by 2, so it becomes k by 2 whole square. Okay, so after that let's little bit solve more. It becomes 45 by 360 times, if I times pi times k into square gives you k square, and 2 times square gives you, because this is multiplied with square and this is multiplied to 2 is also multiplied with 2 square is 4. So what we can do is, because this side is also k, and here also we have k, so we can just take out common k square. K square we can take out common, right? K square, if I take out common, then I'll be left with 1 minus of 45 by 360 times pi times 1 by 4. I hope you understand this. Okay, this is the area of the shaded region. So area of shaded region, area of the shaded region, or we can say the area of the shaded part of a square. Okay, now to find out the percentage, of the area of the square that is shaded, what we can do is area of the shaded region divided by total area of the square, right? Area of the shaded region is what? K square times 1 minus of 45 by 360 times pi times 1 by 4. This is the area of the shaded region divided by area of the square, and if I multiply it with 100, you will get the percentage, right? So now k square and k square get cancelled out. So let's use a calculator now to find out this answer. Let us use a calculator. So we can write like 1 minus of 45 by 360, then times pi times 1 by 4, and if I multiply because it's in a bracket, so if I have to put it equals to, and if I multiply that answer with 100, then I'm getting 90.18. That is the percentage actually. So that is the percentage of area that is being shaded, right? 90.18. Even you can write 90.2. Round it off to 3 significant 5. I hope you understand this. So let's move. Question number 21. Neha has a piece of ribbon of length 23 centimeter. Okay, the length is 23 centimeter corrected to nearest centimeter. Nearest centimeter means nearest 1 centimeter. From this ribbon, she cuts off a piece with length 87 millimeter corrected to nearest 1 millimeter. Millimeter means 1 millimeter, right? Work out the lower bound and the upper bound for the length of the remaining ribbon. So to finding the length of the remaining ribbon, we have to subtract the total length, that is 23 centimeter, with the piece that she cuts off. Then only we can find out the remaining length, right? But this length, actually the total length that is given is not the actual length. Actually it is a corrected length, corrected to nearest 1 centimeter, right? Now if it is nearest 1 centimeter, how can we find out the upper bound? 1 centimeter, what we have to do, we have to divide this 1 centimeter with 2. 1 by 2 gives you what? 0.5. And if I add 0.5 with this length, what was the length actually? The length is actually equals to 23 centimeter, right? And if I add 0.5 to this, I'll get the upper bound, that is 23.5. 23 plus 0.5 gives you 23.5. That gives me upper bound. To get the same method, to get the lower bound, we have to subtract 0.5. It means that we will get 22.5, right? So same way, she also cuts some pieces from that. So let's write pieces, and that is also not the exact length. That is 87 she cuts from the total length. So what will be the upper bound for that case? Because it is in nearest 1 millimeter, so half of that, 1 means 1 by 2. Okay, if it is 2 millimeter, then we should have divided 2 with 2 by 2. Because it is 1, then we are dividing 1, whatever it is there, we have to divide it with 2, that's all. So 1 by 2 is equals to 0.5 millimeter, right? Now we have to, this was in centimeter, so we have to add 0.5 millimeter to get the upper bound, that is 87.5 millimeter will get. For getting the lower bound, we'll be subtracting 0.5 from 87.5, so it will give you 86.5 mm. Okay, now we have to find out what upper bound and lower bound for the remaining ribbon. For remaining ribbon, to find out the remaining ribbon, as I told you, we have to subtract the total length with the pieces that she cut off. But we have to be very careful. One thing I want you to show you right now, you can see one of the table I'm just showing you here. This table shows you whatever we have to do. Now the case is second, right? Subtracting. You may even get the case of multiplication and division also. Take a screenshot of this so that it will be much more easy for doing any questions that comes in your exam. Take just a screenshot because it will be disappeared. So we are doing the second part, that is subtracting. If we are subtracting and we are trying to find out the upper bound, right, that's in this column of the subtraction. If we are subtracting and we want to find out the upper bound, we have to do with upper bound minus of lower bound, right? So you understand, right? For finding the lower bound, we have to subtract lower bound with the upper bound. So I'll show you again with the same thing. Now what we have to do, we have to subtract it, right? Now we have to subtract the upper bound with the lower bound. That's what this shows, this table shows. So okay, let's come back to upper bound with the lower bound, right? So to get the pieces for the upper bound, let's first find out the upper bound, right? So I want to find out the upper bound of the cases. So upper bound is what? Upper bound minus of lower bound of the piece. What is upper bound here? Upper bound for this case is 23.5, 23.5, and the lower bound for this case is 86.5, 86.5. I hope you understand what is going on. So I have to subtract, take out the calculator. I have to subtract one more thing. I'm really sorry about that. One more thing we have to keep it in mind, that is because before doing this 86.5, because it is in millimeter, let's first convert this into centimeter, right? Because 87.5 is also in millimeter and 86.5 is also in millimeter. We have to convert first into centimeter because everything is in centimeter, right? We cannot subtract centimeter with millimeter. So let's convert. You know that 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeter, right? 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeter. So we have to divide this 87.5 to get the divide 87.5. Okay, divide 87.5 with 10. I'll get 88.75, and over that we can easily do it, right? 8.75. This is 8.75 centimeter. I hope you understand why we are dividing it with 10, and this will be 8.65 centimeter. Just to convert into centimeter, I'm dividing, and 1 centimeter is 10 mm. That's why dividing it with 10. Okay, so come back to that. This one, let's do this one. So upper bound we are calculating, and let me show you again the same thing. If I want to calculate the upper bound we need to subtract with the lower bound, right? So upper bound, I wrote it as upper bound is this one, 23.5, and the lower bound was 88.65. Instead of 86, I should have written 8.65, right? So 8.65. Let's subtract that using a calculator. So 23.5 minus of 8.65, that gives you 14.85. That is the upper bound. Okay, 14.85, that gives me the upper bound value. Okay, now we have to find out the 14.85. I'll write it over here. And now we have to find out the lower bound. Now see again the table. I'll show you the table again. So the table shows lower bound is in case of, see the column in case of subtraction, lower bound is equals to lower bound minus of upper bound, right? So lower bound minus of upper bound. So what is the lower bound? So lower bound is this one, that is 22.5, and that we have to subtract it with the upper bound. Upper bound is this, yeah, this one I have to take because that's converted into centimeter. So that is 8.75. I hope you understand why we have to do that. So now let's take out a calculator to solve this. So we have 22.5 minus of 8.75, and that gives me the answer 13.75. So this is our final answer, 13.75. So this is how we have to do this question. So let's move on. Question number 22. Simplify 5x minus x square by 25 minus x square. So let's take out common. From this x is there, let's take out x as common. If I take out x as common, I'll be left with 5 minus of x over the top. And this 25 over the bottom, I can make it as 5 square, and x square is already there. Let us use this formula. See, I'll keep it as it is. So let us use this a square minus of b square formula. So a square minus of b square says a plus of b and a minus of b. So you have to remember this, okay? A plus b and a minus b. So this is big. This 5 becomes a and x becomes b. So we can write it as 5 plus of x, and we can write 5 minus of x. Now 5 minus of x and 5 minus of x got cancelled out. So we are just left with x by 5 plus of x. That will be our final answer. Question number 23. Solve the equation 3 sin x plus 3 equals to 1 for the value of x should lie between 0 degree to 360 degree. We have to be very careful. The value of x should only lie between 0 and 360. Okay. So we can, sometimes we even get the value of x from here itself. Let's try to find out. So 3 of sin x plus of 3 equals to 1. This is the equation, right? Okay, let me write that again. Okay, now if I take this 3 over that side, so it becomes 1 minus of 3. So 3 of sine x will be equals to minus 2. So sine x will be minus 2. This 3 comes down, minus 2 by 3. And x will be equals to sine inverse, because this sine goes that side, sine inverse of minus 2 by 3. So let's take out a calculator and find out the answer for sine inverse of minus 2 by 3, and that is equals to minus 41.81. So minus 41.81 is the value of x, minus 41.81 degree. Okay, but I want the answer that should lie between 0 and 360, correct? 0 and 360, that is the condition. But I'm getting the answer that is minus of, means less than 0, right? So what you have to do is, you have to draw the diagram of the sine graph. So you should know all the three graphs, but sine graph we will be taking here. Already in some of the video I have discussed about all the three graphs, just check on those. But sine graphs looks like this. It starts from 0, the maximum it goes is to 1, and the minimum it reaches to minus 1. Okay, and the maximum it reaches as 90. Okay, the maximum sine graph reaches as 90. Sine graphs looks like this one. This is 180. It goes down. The minimum it goes down. I'll just write those 180 somewhere else. Okay, it's 180, and in minimum it goes down like this in 270, and it reaches back at 360 degree. So this point is 360. It is actually a uniform one, so uniform graph. So this is actually 180 degree, and this should be equals to 270 degree. Okay, so actually if we expand this graph, where is the actual value of x lies here? So if I try to expand, this should go like that, right? So the minimum value will be minus of 90 over here, something like that. Same graph will be drawn on the left side also, right? This is minus 90. Same, it goes like that, right? You understand, I hope, what I'm saying. So now the value is minus of, I changed the color of the pen, the value is minus of 41, right? The value is minus of 41. This is 90, so minus 41 should lie half of that, little bit half of that. So this, you have to you have to draw the symmetry figure of 41. So this is actually the symmetry figure, right? This is 41 minus of 41.8, and the symmetry figure is this one. Try to understand this symmetry figure, it is very important. So this is a symmetry figure, right? And you have to find out where this symmetry figure is again observed. One is here, you can see that you have to check for the symmetric figure that is observed between 0 and 360, right? So this is one of the symmetric figure. uh, this is one of the symmetric figure where I can say that this actually, if I draw it perfectly, it will be easy for you to understand, but because of the stylo pen I can't draw it perfectly, but it is actually symmetrical to this. Try to understand this. This is U shape like this, and this is also U shape like this. So this part is actually symmetrical to this part. Okay, so now, so these two are symmetrical. Now understand that this is also 41.8, right? If this is symmetrical, then this length is also 41.8. So what we have to do for finding this length? So we have, this is 360. This value is 360. This value is 360 exactly. So what will be this value? So that is 360 minus of 41.8. That will give you the actual value of x now. Let's use our calculator. 360 minus of 41.8. 360 minus of 41.8, that gives you 318.2. okay, this is one of the value of x, 318.2. The other value of x is, see, let's find out another symmetry. So symmetry will not be here, okay, it will not be here over the top, anywhere over the top, it will be in the bottom only. It is in the opposite side, that is a mirror image of that. You have to check for that also. See, this is also symmetrical to that. Because it was taken minus of 41.8, now we have to take plus because it's a mirror image. So this length is also 41.8, correct? So what we have to do, this is 180, this is 180. So we are adding 41.8 to that because it was a mirror image. So if I added 41.8, let's add that. So 41.8 plus of 180, I'll get the another value of x, that is equals to 221.8. So 221.8 is the another value of x. I hope you understand this. So you have to draw the sine graph and then you have to find out the symmetrical pattern of that, and you can easily find out the 221.8. You can easily find out the answer. So let's move on. Question number 24. Y is inversely proportional to the cube of x minus of 1. So y is inversely proportional to cube of x minus of 1. Okay. And when x is 3 and y is 9.45. With this we can find the value of k. Let's find, if I remove this proportionality symbol, this is called as proportionality symbol. If I remove this with, remove that and put equal to, I have to write k on it. Okay. If I remove the proportionality symbol, I have to write k on it, and rest all remains the same. See, if I put the value of x as 3 and y as 9.45 over here in this equation, I can get the value of k, correct? Let's do that. So x as 3. So this is actually, we can write it 9.45 equals to k into 1 by 3 minus 2 is 2 cube. 2 cube is actually nothing. 2 cube is equals to 8. So k will be equals to 9.45 times of 8. So let's first use a calculator to calculate it. So 9.45 times of 8 is the value of k, that is equals to 75.6. So 75.6 is the value of k. We will use this value of k to find out the value of y. Okay, the actual equation is what, y equals to k into 1 by x minus of 1 whole cube, right, from here. So k is what, 75.6. So we'll put the value of k as 75.6 times 1 when x is 4, right? We have to find the value of y when x is 4. So we will be putting the value of x as 4. 4 minus of 1 whole cube. So y will be equals to 75.6 times 4 minus of 1 is 3. So 3 cube. So yeah, so we can easily do it. So y will be equals to 75 divided by 3 cube. Let's pull out our calculator so we can do it. Yeah, 75.6. I can write it like that. 75.6 divided by 3 cube, and that gives me the answer 2.8. So 2.8 is my final answer for the value of y. So let's move. Question number 25. So we are given with m raised to power minus 1 by 4, and that is equals to 27 raised to power 27 into m raised to power minus 1. So we have to find the value of m in this case. So what we can do is, let's take this m raised to power 1 by 4 and let's take this m raised to power minus 1 over downside of this, and 27 remains over that side, right hand side. So we know that this both are in division right now. In division, when the bases are same, we have to subtract the powers, right? So let's subtract the power keeping the common base. Minus 1 by 4 minus of minus 1, subtracting the powers. So let us use our calculator in subtracting the powers. So minus of 1 by 4 minus of minus 1, that gives me the answer 3 by 4. So that's the 3 by 4, right? So we get this one, m raised to power 3 by 4 equals to 27. Okay, before doing the next part of this, I just want to explain you one thing. For example, if I'm having 2, if I write 2 square and that gives me 4, right? Then let me give you some variable example that will be much clearer for you. Yeah. So if I write x square and if I write x square equals to 4, okay, x square equals to 4. So if I want to remove this square, what I should write? I just know that I have to write under root of 4. But do you know that when I remove this x square, it is actually become other side reciprocal of that number. Before it was square, now other side it becomes reciprocal of that, 1 by 2. And that is what actually equals to root of 4. 1 by 2 is written as root 4. Let me see, give you one more example. X cube is equals to 8. Okay, so if x cube is equals to 8, over other side, if I want to remove this cube and write it over the other side, it becomes 1 by 3. That is reciprocal of this one. Reciprocal of 3 is 1 by 3, right? Same way, and that is equals to cube root of 8. Okay, so same way, what happened? M 3 raised to power 4 3 by 4 is equals to m raised to power 3 by 4 is equals to 27 is there. If I want to remove this 3 by 4, over other side what will happen? 3 by 4, instead of writing 3 by 4, it will be 4 by 3, reciprocal of that, as it's happening here also, right? Reciprocal of 2 is 1 by 2. So if we will be calculating this one using a calculator, let's pull out the calculator right now again. If we write 27 raised to power 4 by 3, we should get the answer. That is the value of m, 81. So the value of m is 81. So I hope you understand this. So m is 81. So I hope all the questions related this paper is clear to you. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.